Most drivers think serious engine improvements require expensive parts, advanced tools, or professional tuning, but the truth is very different. There are simple tricks mechanics and technicians quietly use in the workshop every day that can make an engine run smoother, cleaner, and more responsive almost instantly. But here's the twist. Many of these tricks are considered illegal in certain regions because they bypass emission systems, alter factory calibrations, or use products in ways manufacturers never intended. You should always follow local regulations. You should never remove emissions equipment, and you should never attempt anything unsafe. Today, I'm simply showing you what actually works behind the scenes. These are 10 illegal tricks that make engines run better, and why they work so effectively. Once you understand the mechanics behind them, you'll know exactly what to avoid, what to fix, and how to keep your engine healthy the right way. Let's start with number 10. Number 10, forcing the ECU into a protected fuel-rich map by unplugging the MAF sensor. Mechanics never drive cars like this, but they do it to reveal hidden problems fast. When the mass airflow sensor is unplugged, the ECU panics and switches to a default fuel map designed to keep the engine safe. This map deliberately adds more fuel, stabilizes idle, and masks small vacuum leaks. The engine immediately feels smoother and stronger, but it's illegal to operate the vehicle like this on the road, and running rich can destroy catalytic converters. The reason this trick works is simple. Extra fuel hides the real issue. If your engine feels better unplugged than plugged in, the MAF sensor is dirty, dying, or misreporting. That's the part you fix, not the wiring. Number 9, removing the intake sound resonator to improve airflow. Factories design intake systems to be quiet, not powerful. That's why most airboxes have a big plastic resonator tucked somewhere out of sight. When this resonator is removed, air flows straighter and faster into the engine. You get sharper throttle response, more intake sound, and sometimes better low-end torque. But the moment you alter intake acoustics in regions with strict noise laws, you're in illegal territory. There's a reason mechanics test this behind the shop first. It's a diagnostic tool. If your engine responds dramatically to freer airflow, your air filter is clogged or your MAF sensor is restricted. Solve the real restriction and you get legal performance gains. Number 8, using racing strength fuel system cleaners before emissions testing. There are industrial carbon cleaners that dissolve deposits far faster than the consumer products you find at stores. When used correctly in a workshop, they can restore throttle response, reduce misfires, and smooth idle in a single treatment. But many of these formulas contain chemicals that are banned for road use because they temporarily increase tailpipe emissions. Shops use them to clean intake valves before inspections, not afterward. And here's the key. If your engine runs dramatically better after heavy cleaning, you're dealing with chronic carbon buildup. Fixing the root cause prevents the need for aggressive chemicals entirely. Number 7, changing engine oil viscosity outside the factory specification. Every engine is designed for a specific oil grade, and using anything else is illegal in regions where viscosity is part of the emission certification. But tuners and mechanics sometimes change viscosity slightly for diagnostic purposes. Thinner oil flows faster, quiets lifters, and reduces internal drag during cold starts. Thicker oil boosts pressure on worn engines and reduces valve train noise. The improvement feels dramatic, but it's not a long-term solution. If your engine likes a different viscosity, something inside is wearing out. That's what needs attention, not the label on the bottle. Number 6, temporarily venting the EVAP system to identify fuel trim problems. Modern engines rely on sealed EVAP systems. The purge valve, charcoal canister, and tank pressure sensor work together to capture vapors. But when a mechanic needs to diagnose unstable fuel trims, they may momentarily vent the system to normalize pressure. When tank pressure drops, trims stabilize, idle smooths out, and throttle response improves instantly. But driving with a vented EVAP system is absolutely illegal everywhere. The takeaway is simple. If reducing tank pressure improves engine behavior, your purge valve or charcoal canister is failing. Replacing those parts restores performance legally and permanently. Number 5, installing hotter or colder spark plugs to sharpen ignition timing. Performance plugs can fire faster, resist fouling better, or burn hotter, all of which improve combustion. The engine feels smoother, more responsive, and more eager to rev. But plugs that deviate from factory heat ranges are prohibited in certain areas because they can change emissions and increase NOx output. And using the wrong heat range for your engine can trigger misfires or even melt electrodes. Again, the trick works because it compensates for an underlying issue. If better plugs dramatically change your engine's behavior, your coils, injectors, or combustion chambers need attention. Number 4, adjusting the factory-sealed throttle body stop screw for faster response. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. The stop screw controls how far the throttle plate closes. Factories preset it, seal it, and expect it to stay that way forever. But turning it even a fraction of a millimeter increases base airflow and transforms throttle response. Idle jumps, hesitation fades, and the engine feels snappier. But altering this screw is illegal in many regions because it affects idle emissions. If your engine runs significantly better with more base airflow, you likely have carbon buildup on the throttle plate, a dirty idle air valve, or intake leaks. Fix those and you regain the same performance legally. Number 3, disabling the Downstream O2 sensor to eliminate throttle surging. The secondary oxygen sensor monitors catalytic converter performance. Some people attempt to bypass it with spacers or electronic tricks, which smooth out power delivery and reduce throttle oscillation at cruising speeds. The improvement is obvious, but removing or altering emissions equipment is illegal in nearly every country, and bypassing that sensor often hides the real problem: a failing catalytic converter, leaky exhaust, or incorrect air-fuel balancing. When you fix the underlying issue legitimately, the driving smoothness returns without any illegal modifications. Number 2, adding racing-grade octane booster to unlock more timing advance. High-octane race blends allow engines to run more ignition timing without knocking. More timing equals more power. Even on stock engines, the difference can feel dramatic. Smoother acceleration, stronger mid-range torque, and a quieter combustion chamber. But many octane boosters contain banned metal additives that coat oxygen sensors and damage catalytic converters. They're not legal for road use in many regions. If your engine greatly improves with octane booster, it's telling you one thing: it's knocking under normal conditions. That's a mechanical or fuel quality problem, not something to mask with chemicals. Number 1, reflashing the ECU with a non-certified tune. This is the king of illegal tricks. A tune rewrites fuel tables, ignition timing, throttle mapping, cam advance, and transmission logic. Suddenly the car feels lighter, quicker, and more responsive. Idle smooths out, mid-range power explodes, fuel trims stabilize, and the entire engine wakes up like it just gained years of health. But uncertified tunes are illegal for road use, void warranties, and can overstress internal components when done incorrectly. The real lesson here is this: if your engine feels fixed by a tune, there was a calibration issue hiding beneath the surface. Carbon buildup, intake leaks, injector imbalance, or ignition timing inconsistencies. A tune masks these. Fixing them solves the real problem.